has a huge geographical area. We are 800,000 square kilometers. Southern Pakistan is plain, but North Pakistan is mountains. When I first visited your beautiful country in 2007, I fell in love with this place because I come from mountains in Pakistan. And when I sit in my office and when I look outside, it reminds me of Pakistan. So yes, indeed, the terrain in Buddha is much more like my own village in Pakistan or the mountainous areas in Pakistan. And I always felt that, Hungary is one of the best kept secrets in the world. It's such a beautiful place. Rarely would you find now these days, pollution-free atmosphere that you get in Hungary. The people are very nice. Driving along the roads is absolutely a pleasure because Hungarian drivers are so courteous. You have a zero tolerance alcohol policy. So nothing could be better. It's a dream come true for me. First time that I heard about Hungary I was a very small kid and I used to go for a walk in Islamabad, which is the capital of Pakistan. And I used to pass by the Hungarian embassy. I had no idea that there was a country, Hungary, where it was. And I used to collect stamps. And one of the stamps that I had said Magyar on it. So these are my earliest memories of your great country. And one of the oldest embassies in Pakistan was, of course, the Hungarian embassy. Whenever I get time, I actually go out. Over the weekends, I have quite a few times visited Vienna. Whenever, family relatives come over from Pakistan, I have visited Vienna with them. Montenegro only once when I went for my credentials. Hungary, whenever I find time, I also visit there. About 2 weeks ago, I visited Visegrad, Esztergom. So, you've got a very, very rich history as such. Again, being a Muslim, we have, the Turkish connection here. Where I live, Gul Baba's mausoleum is close to that place. So, traditionally when we read about Hungary, the fact that, we can associate, and obviously your connection with the East is also very important. And I do have this sense of belonging, and I feel I get this vibration also from our Hungarian friends that there is deep down something very, very common in our outlook and in our thinking. Yes. Hungary has a very, very important policy. It's called opening towards the East. We are fortunate that last year the Prime Minister and the President of Hungary approved specifically for Pakistan 80 fully paid scholarships for students from Pakistan at the bachelor's, master's and the PhD level. Recently, about I think a month ago, we got the formal agreement. It is being considered by Pakistan. So these are substantive. Now we have students who come from Pakistan on their own, they pay a tuition fee. So, when we have this formal mechanism, these children would be able to save a lot of foreign exchange for Pakistan and get world quality education in Hungary. So I'm very happy that, this thing transpired during my tenure here, and hopefully we should be able to accomplish further progress while I am here. Recently, following the elections in Hungary, the Hungarian Parliament has set up the Pakistan-Hungarian Friendship Group in the Parliament. Now, we already have a Pakistan-Hungary Friendship Group in Pakistan's Parliament. So now we are trying to work together and sort of mesh these two together and enter into some sort of a formal agreement between the parliaments of the two countries. MOL Hungary, it is one of the biggest investors in Pakistan. It has invested something like $1.5 billion in Pakistan. They have set up a subsidiary company in Pakistan which is called MOL Pakistan. They are fast expanding in Pakistan. Now they are going into exploration and production of gas also, and they are one of the prime investors in Pakistan. I'm in touch with their hierarchy, the presidents and the vice president, and they are keen to further expand their role and operations in Pakistan. What is also important is that they are not only investing in Pakistan in the oil and exploration sector, but in terms of what is these days called corporate social responsibility, the CSR initiative. They are building schools, they are building bridges in Pakistan, which would, be very good for the ordinary people in Pakistan. Malala Yousafzai represents that section of Pakistani society, the major segment of Pakistani society, who are all out for education. She was amongst the other girls also when the terrorists ambushed them and tried to kill them. But Malala Yousafzai is a symbol basically, and there were so many other girls that were with her and who continue with their education in Pakistan despite the threats. So as a symbol, it's very important that Malala Yousafzai is not alone. She represents those girls in that part of Pakistan who have said no to terrorism and said, they said that, no matter what you do, we would continue with education as such. The Indus Valley civilization in Pakistan, one of the oldest civilizations in the world, is in part of Pakistan, which is south near Karachi. We have beaches in Karachi. So I would advise that, for a person who just has a week, to go to the northern areas and the southern areas, because the terrain is absolutely different. In northern areas, you get mountains, you get valleys, you get a favor of the mountains in Pakistan. The terrain is completely different. South, we have deserts, we have sandy beaches. So in a week, north and the south both can be visited to get a flavor of what Pakistan is all about. I also want to mention that we have what is called the Mughal civilization that started off in Pakistan, which ruled for 400-500 years. So a day probably should be spent in Lahore to get a flavor of what the Mongols had done in Pakistan, because we still have as our inheritance the structures, the beautiful gardens that they made, and some of the structures. By the way, these Mughals were the same ones who built the Taj Mahal in India. So they have made their contribution in our part of Pakistan also.